Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Barljo's basement as we emerge blinking into the bright morning of Goldcrest Valley. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 17 by the incredibly detailed Giant software. How lovely they are. Okay, the first thing we see is here we are at field 15 of ours. You may recall from the last video, do give it a watch if you haven't already. We'd sowed a cover crop in there of some oilseed radish. My next plan is to stick some barley here in field 14, just ahead of us, which was now already cultivated, as we can just check by our field states. And our third field, number 12, you'll see is partially ploughed up top. Plan for today is I'm going to set a worker finishing off that ploughing. We are also going to set a worker planting the barley in field 14 there. Then I'm going to pop down the shop. We need a front weight for this New Holland, as it does not steer very well whilst it's pulling such things as that sower at speed. That's probably a couple of £100 we can save ourselves, but it's not really that necessary, but let's do it anyway. Let's leave the sower there in the meantime. First thing I'll do is put the sower on our other case tractor, which is just resting in our barn here. And then I will run over to the other. See, the cases have already got their weighted fronts on, just as a not even a factory option. That's just how they come, which means they're able to deal a lot better with the heavy things we're sometimes pulling. So yes, we'll get that planted, set our other worker off ploughing, then we'll mosey on down to the shop, buy some stuff. It's a shame, I was saving our money for likely some animals, but there we go, that looks much better, doesn't it? Okay, let's get ourselves lined up here. That feels about right. Close enough. Set our fruit type, as they call it. Select the seed. We're going to use barley seed. It's got some fertilizer in it, so that's good. Let's lower it down, turn it on, get going, and engage our worker friend. There you go. You get in there. Who have we got today? Hard to tell. Q. I don't know any ladies' names beginning with Q other than Queenie. So we'll call her that. You carry on there, Queenie, and you do what it is you need to. We'll run over to the other tractor in our faithful New Holland here, just because it's quite a way, and if you don't want to watch me just walk around the farm, that's a waste of everyone's time. That should do us. In there we have, I think I've possibly touched on it before, the pallets on the left there, those big seed bags. In front there are mixed seed pallets. They'll refill that planter as and when it needs it. And these are the fertilizer pellets, which also go in the planter, the Great Plains planter. And these two tanks there have the liquid fertilizer in, and that is what we'll use in our crop sprayer when we have it. I didn't look, so let's stay off the road. So yes, as I think I've said before, even here in Seasons Mod, the long-term plan is to get some animals involved. First off, likely some sheep, because I'm a native of the Isle of Man, and we don't want that turned round, do we? What is going on here? Well, they're ploughing for us anyway. I inadvertently got the worker before I was ready. Fantastic. Okay, let's mosey on down to the shop, get that which we need to. Oh, the engine wasn't started. Which we need to. No one's coming round in the mirrors. Take the scenic route to the shop today. We don't need to just drive all over the roads. Whilst, of course, we don't really like just driving all over our own grass. Sometimes it's just easier to do that rather than stick to our we stick to our paths. So yes, there we go. We'll have a trip through, nice trip through the town rather than just hitting up the highway. And then we'll come back. By that stage, we'll do a couple of jobs today if we have the screen time. Let's not get out. What are you doing? Come on, Queenie. What are you up to? Turning. You do know what you're doing. That's okay. I'm glad one of us does. We'll do a couple of tasks. Certainly, in the longer term, I do quite fancy having another field. I think I've chosen which field it is. We can beat that car, no problem. To either be field number 9. In the longer term, we may as well work towards number 8 as well. They're quite small ones. They won't be too much money, but I'm planning to use it just for grass, which we use for silage, which for the cows in the longer term. But of course, sheep eat grass, so we'll use that for their feed. Sheep are fairly easy in this game to take care of. They just take grass from the meadow in which they live, and also supplied grass in their troughs, and some water, and they will produce. Well, they will reproduce. The game mechanic has them breed. The more sheep you have, the more sheep you can get. But they will also produce wool, which you can sell for quite a nifty price. I think animals probably. It's close enough to stop. Animals are really the way in this game to make your money. So the pigs as well. If you can get enough pigs, they reproduce like nobody's business. And of course, the only real byproduct you get from pigs, other than other pigs, is bacon. So that's what we'll likely be selling any additional pigs for. They also produce muck, which you can use for. He didn't even stop. Which you can use for fertilizing your fields. So, whilst I am going to buy this, it's my fault I wasn't indicating. If I was indicating, she would probably not have gone. So, whilst we're buying a sprayer just now, I'll likely sell it back. For a muck spreader. So here we are back at Morgan's Massive Motors to grab a nice little weight and a sprayer, which is very nice indeed. You may notice that the menus moved around a bit. It threw me a couple of minutes ago. That's because we have the sugarcane implements in here now that I've loaded up the Platinum Expansion mod that we walked through when we were doing the seasons the other day. The sprayer we want there had a working width of 15, which is quite nice. It takes up half our available money right now, but resales shouldn't be too bad. There's no options, it's just as it is. We'll get it bought. I certainly think it's a good idea to keep hold of it. You can lease things if they are too expensive. But it seems more. Can I hear some feedback, or is it just me? Might be something outside. There we go. No options on the weight either. It's a shame there isn't an indication as to just how big it is. But anyway, so there we have one weight and one sprayer. How exciting! So let's jump in those and head back to the farm. I'll probably pop them all down. I think it looks like I need to pick the sprayer up first, doesn't it? That provides some interesting moments of steering. Because it needs a weight, but ooh, careful! Only just managed to grab that in time without knocking it all over the place. Yes, it comes empty, which is something of a shame. But anyway, so here we go. I do think I'll go back through town again, just because it was slightly prettier, rather than heading straight. Oh no, I tell you what, I will go straight back down the highway, but I'll stick it on a time-lapse, so in editing. So I will see you when we get there. Safe journey, dudes. welcome back. Here we are on the approach back to the basement, of course. I think the first thing I'll probably do is fill up the sower. Then we'll just park up and pop over to another field and see how we're doing. We will, of course, I'll have to do that externally. Not even good in real life at reversing in the mirrors. There we go. So let's back up to our liquid store. I know you're in there. Ah, of course. There we go. So get that filled up nicely. Oh, don't know why I would pull away when it wasn't full. I'm a crazy person. That's because we've used one of our pallets already. Well, still, that spray should last us a while. Okay. That the spray we'll first be using will be over on our, likely on our barley field. I don't really see the need to spray our cover crop. It says it's on growth stage 1, but I can't see any of the green shoots of progress just yet. So I think that will be a job for the next video, in which we'll probably be doing... I've kind of got that planned out, I know what I'm doing, even though it doesn't always sound like it. No formal green shoots there for our cover crop. So let's groove down to field 9, and maybe even field 8, depending on how the time goes. Whoop, careful, John. Silly barljo. There we go. Okay. I see our plougher is doing quite nicely there, so thank you very much for them. I just realised we're only on real-time speed, so I shall set that back to 15 when we get to the farm, just to keep things ticking over. Otherwise nobody needs just to sit around and watch crops grow in real time. There is a car coming, but I'm fairly confident we can beat him. If I'd known this guy was going at this speed, I could have overtaken him. As it happens, we're pulling off here. Leave our little pickup under the shade of these trees here, I think, and see what we have going today. I can't remember if I mentioned in the last video, when you enable seasons, it resets all the likes you've built up for your farmer friends. So, how awkward. This is quite a big field at 137, but we'll do some work on it, see how much we can get it down. I'll do some work on field 8 as well, just up the road, and that should do us. That seemed quite... there we go, an 8-minute job. I think we'll probably have time to do that, and then a time lapse on the other one. So here we go. This is a fantastically interesting tractor. Let's grab the weight, because it's got quite a top speed as well, 39. Get one of these if we're if we're ever having to do any big jaunts across town. And we should engage about now. There we go. Okay, let's get our camera angle set so we can see what our coverage is like. Turn it on and get going. That is some lovely coverage. We can see it's just clipping all of the field. So let's go back a bit more, it'll help us with the turn. We do have a little water well on the farm, but that seems to be fed by some sort of water meter. It will charge you if, when we're coming to see to our animals, that will charge you per fill. We can see down here, there is a lovely lake. It must be a freshwater lake, as I'm sure it is, because we're miles from the sea. So we can just back our water bowser up to there. I feel it's always a bit tricky saying Bowser because, obviously, as a gamer, it has a different meaning entirely, particularly with reference to the Mario series that's just coming out, and we're also enjoying on Switch. If I can save enough money, or if any of you lovely people would like to buy me something, I'll get a capture card, and you can watch us play that on Switch as well. I'll start editing those videos down. But it's probably £100 odd that I can't quite stretch to at the moment. As time goes on, I'll be building, hopefully, something of a base with these videos, and also stepping up stepping up the production. So hopefully I should be able. The more I do, the more I can do, and the more I can do, the more I will do. So there we go. We will need to do a third pass. I see our little Pac-Man is just approaching over halfway as we trundle down, but there we go. What a lovely tractor this certainly seems to be. Didn't even look what it was. I was just interested in the time and the money. We've got some aircon up there. How lovely. And all our digital controls down there. How lovely indeed. I think I've mentioned before, the insides of the tractor on the PlayStation aren't live. There is an interactive mod if you're playing on PC where you can point and click to do stuff rather than just use your PlayStation controller. Seems a mite more interesting. I may go that way, but of course, again, I'd need to upgrade my PC, so when I say upgrade, I mean get a new one. My lovely laptop is, well, let's go with struggling to handle stuff that goes on these days. It does well for what I usually need it for. It handles the editing okay, that's fine, but hasn't quite got the graphics card to handle this game. I know, I've tried, but of course, Steam's refund policy is amazing. I bought the game, I tried to load it, it didn't want to load, and I sent Steam a quick email saying, very sorry, I gave it a try, I have got the system requirements, and they refunded me straight away. Very handy if you're not sure a game will run. If you do get it on Steam, do grab that. There we go. I did also mention, I remember specifically mentioning in the last video, that there's no time bonuses if you get if you do these jobs under the Seasons mod, which is a shame, but it was getting a little out of hand. You could do a 3-hour job and earn about somewhere approaching £100,000 for it after the time bonus, which, whilst it's very nice to get your farm up and running, isn't really indicative of the, let's just go with general economy these days. There we go. So that was a cheeky, I think it was about £1,200, was it, she was going to pay us for doing this. I've noticed since I loaded the Seasons mod, it's also switched all the farmers around. I had a lovely list of who owned which field. I'm going to go and have to find that off camera as well. There we go, just short of 1,200 there, and yes, what a lovely little field that is. What did that do to the price of it? Not really had an impact yet. She also wants it ploughed. That's 24 minutes. I think I may do that. May do that off screen, or I maybe do as a time lapse at the beginning of the next video. See how we go. For the meantime, we'll pop up to field 8. See if they've got any little jobs for us up there. I can't even recall. Well, I know who it was. It used to be George Watson, but don't know who that's going to be this time. And then I think if field 8 is okay, that will likely do us for the day for this video. Maybe a 5-10 minute job should see us. Hopefully it's not another slurry spread. If it is, then 25 minutes. I don't think we'll do that. Well, it's another 3,500, but not for now. So I will do that on a time lapse just to finish this video off, but probably on another day. In fact, no, I won't. I will let this video run its course. In the meantime, I will have a little quick look at our little pig farm area. Quite away from the sheep, but we may as well go and see those guys too. And here we are, it's just on the left for us. No one around, no one coming behind, so here we are. Let's park up, have a little walk around tour. Helper M has completed their task. Oh, how nice! That will be the ploughed field, which is now ready to go with soy when our planter has finished doing the barley. It's all go in the basement, and here we are. Here we are in the pig enclosure. This is their feed troughs. The pigs, if we have a quick look at the info screen, down the middle column there, the pigs take corn, wheat, either wheat or barley, either some canola, sunflower seeds or soybeans, and you can also top them up with some potatoes and sugar beet if you wish to go that way. It's not a vital part of their diet, but there we go. You can see the sheep just take hay or grass and some water, and the cows have an amazing mix. But yes, so if we can jump in there, it should be nice and clean because we have no pigs. We can see some lovely little enclosures for them to shelter in, a little shady area just here under a tarp, lots of lovely muddy puddles for them to presume wallow in, or whatever it is that pigs do. That looked to be a proper way in. Does that gate open? No, it does not. This is their water trough, which we'll be filling from our water tanker when we get to it. And this is their, let's go with nighttime area. This is where we'd put their straw bedding in. And there we go. We have another little storage shed here, useful for storing bales and any specialist equipment. And here is their waste area. We'll get they get some slurry they'll produce, which we can take out and spread on the fields, and also in here a little manure pit for them. They all get cleaned out automatically in that time, so there we go. We'll have a quick look at the sheep area as well, as it's not too far away. We'll go the back way rather than going down the roads, because this is part of our... Whoa, hello, what happened there? Because this is part of our farm setup, we've got a little track that leads up through the forest area. Now I think we'll be coming to do some forestry later in the year. Hello, look out up there. Certainly through the winter, when pretty much the only thing we have to do is take care of our animals that we should hopefully have up and running by the time winter rolls around. We'll probably do some forestry as well, just to keep our accounts ticking over. So there we are, back at our farm. And yes, we'll have a quick pop over to the sheep enclosure as well, which is out the back here. We'll need to cross over the railway tracks, but that should do us for now. Here we are. Okay. You remember this was the way the store was off to the left. Our closest railway tracks are just here. There we go. I think we'll pop into driving the trains later on when we come to sell some stuff, if we do need to raise anything, much like... There we go. This is also not our field. It's quite a significant field. It would be nice to have, but probably not very practical right now. It's probably slightly too expensive to be purchasing. So yes, here we are at a lovely little sheep enclosure here. They're a lot easier to take care of. But we'll have a wander around anyway. This area here is where they would... their wool gets stocked up. This area here is where you would load them into their pens. Around here we have their feed station there for the grass, and some water there, or possibly the other way round. I'm not really sure. We'll know when we come to do it. And because they're sheep, they can just have a nice wander around this little meadowy field there, but we will keep them fed. This not insignificant rock. Wow, a lovely view across the lake. Look at the trees in the water. What a beautiful day. I wonder what that building is there. Can we see it on the map? We're looking straight out to... that must be Maplefield Mill. Ah, how nice. Ah, so peaceful with just the birds tweeting away. Okay, well, let's groove back to our home farm. Nothing else to worry about there. There's the central transport hub. And, so yes, a nice little tour today, a nice little wander round with some time-lapsey stuff too. So there we are. That's our goal. We'll be hopefully filling up with pigs and also with sheep. just for some entertainment value. Let's see how much this would cost us. There we go, 178,000. Not too big, but I'm not doing all that work for just £1,000. Not right now, my friend. maybe on a different day. I don't know what my fetish is for turning lights on today. Oh, there's not a track that runs right round that field. I do apologise to whoever's grass I am trampling. Squeezing past the trees. There will be no trains coming. There is only us drives the trains. So that is most definitely for a different day. Who doesn't like driving trains? Well, presumably train guards. If they wanted to drive trains, they'd drive them. Instead, they're doing the guard work. Well, that was an observation that ran into a brick wall fairly quickly. I wonder how our planter is doing. Mr. Q is planting out very nicely as well, so that should leave us the ability to do some sort of planting next time. And then our crop should start growing, and there we are. We don't need a wash today. We'll leave that where it is, run over, grab our plough, put it back in the shed, because that will likely be the next implement we use. When that cover crop of ours, oh dear, it's miles away, when that cover crop of ours has grown, when the oilseed radish has grown, we'll plough it back in. Then that field should be 2 states fertilised out of the necessary 3. That's not a bad job of ploughing there. Thanks. I didn't check if you're male or female, so we'll call you Mickey. Remember, it was Helper M. And there we go. I don't know what the weather will hold for tomorrow. Game day tomorrow, anyway. So there we go. Let's jump in. I just reminded myself I was going to set the play speed back to 15, just so that things can actually move along. And there we go. Chugging along. In fact, I may take this straight over to that cover crop field before we tidy up for the day, just so that it's there, ready. Should be quite a nice day betwixt now and then, so we won't worry too much about it getting left out in the rain. And there we go. Pressure washer on the side there to clear everything up nicely. So we'll just park you here until such time as you're ready. I think it will likely be tomorrow's game day, but in any case, ooh, hello. It will likely be tomorrow's game day before that's gone through its first growth state. But for now, we're fine with that. Everybody is laid up, ready to go. This worker is on his last little track. Well, I tell you what, when she's turned round, let's just follow her. We'll jump in, and we can always send her home, and then that would certainly do us for today. Where are you going, Queenie? Let's jump in there. Let's see. Ah, it's only 2 quick jaunts up. We'll make sure I'll let her get lined up sensibly. As indeed she has. She can go home. We'll finish up. Lower, turn on, let's go! Oh my gosh, have we got enough seed? That did not half burn through the barley seeds there. 16 what? I don't know. I'm going to guess that's litres rather than actual seeds. And we do just about have enough, I think, to finish the track coming down. There we go. Turn that off while we turn round, line it up with the edge of the field. Oh, it would be a shame if we don't quite make it. But isn't that the way? There we go, let's keep lined up with the edge of the field there. 6 litres, 5 litres, we're going to fall just short. 2, 1. Is that last litre going to last us? No, it is not. There we go. We first need to fill the tool. Oh well. That will do for today. I will come back down, fill the tool. I'll finish up just after I shall finish up just off camera. In fact, I'll just time-lapse it to the end. So, thank you very much again for watching. It has been my pleasure to play. I hope you've enjoyed the videos. Any comments, pointers, complaints, keep it constructive though, would be nice. Help gratefully received. Thank you very much again, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye for now. Bye!